to my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing sort of a podcast type episode, so you can just listen if you like, but I will also have some videos up of me doing some cleaning and organizing around my home. If you want to watch and gain some motivation, you can listen as you clean your own home if you like, or we can just visit, and let's get started. I really didn't know much about minimalism until around 3 years ago, and I had seen and heard a few things about it, but I kind of thought that being a minimalist meant you had whitewashed walls in your house and only a couple of pieces of furniture, no artwork, and pretty much no fun, and that didn't appeal to me at all. But I've always been a fairly organized person. You can ask my college roommates. Hopefully they would agree. My side of the dorm room was very orderly, and it wasn't very difficult to keep it that way. Without even thinking, I made my bed each morning, took out my trash and recycling regularly, and kept everything really organized. My first apartment was very neat as well, and it was always guest ready, so anyone could stop by at any time, and it wouldn't worry me one bit. Then fast forward a year later to June of 2014. I had been married for only 1 year. I had a newborn, and I was completely drowning in stuff. Everywhere I turned, there was clothing, toys, dishes, books, DVDs. The list goes on and on. I had too much of absolutely everything. Although I tried to organize it, nothing stayed organized for any length of time. So I continued to drown in stuff for the next 4 years. By that time, in 2018, I had a 4-year-old, a newborn, and a myriad of other items that I couldn't name if my life depended on it. I knew my current way of living could not continue. My house was constantly a mess, although I feel like I cleaned it all the time. I have anxiety, and I literally felt like I couldn't breathe, and like everything was closing in around me. Basically, it was like one very long, mild panic attack. I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but it's how I really felt. And the more stuff that came into my house, the more difficult it was to control, and the more anxiety I had. I knew that I had to do something, or I might end up having a complete nervous breakdown. It was that bad. Now, for a couple of years prior to this, I had started getting interested in books on organizing and decluttering, but I hadn't really taken much action upon what I had read. Then, in 2018, with my toddler and newborn, I decided to do what only I could do, and that was to do whatever necessary to take my house back, get the stuff under control, and live a life full of meaning and purpose. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians 4:18, "While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal." You know, the things in this world are temporary. They will only last a short time. Yet we spend so much money and time and energy accumulating and taking care of these things. And this wasn't where I wanted my focus to be. I wanted to focus on spending quality time with my husband and kids. I wanted to embrace the really important things that make life worth living. So I had never really watched YouTube much until 3 years ago. But one day I started scrolling on YouTube and came across some videos about decluttering and minimalism. I soon realized that my perception of being a minimalist was very wrong. Sure, you can be a minimalist that has whitewashed walls, one chair, and no artwork, but you don't have to be. You get to choose your definition of minimalism. For some people, that may be one set of dishes, one couch, and no artwork. For others, that looks more like a normal home with lots of useful items. The unifying concept here is that you're focusing on minimalism rather than excess. and you are creating a home that is easy for you to maintain. You can read all the organizing books, buy all the fancy containers, and do all the things. But if you have more items than you can manage, it will not stay under control. I had to remove items from my home one by one until I felt like I could breathe a little easier and a little easier. And then one day, 2 years later, while looking around my house, I let out a huge sigh of relief because I realized I had decluttered until I felt at ease. I finally felt like I could manage my home. I could keep it under control. Even if every toy was emptied into the middle of the floor, they could be picked up pretty quickly. If someone stopped by unexpectedly, I wouldn't be too mortified to open the door. Slowly but surely, I adopted a mindset of minimalism, that less is more, and realized the stuff isn't nearly as important as I originally thought. I'm not the extreme minimalist. I can't fit all of my possessions into a backpack. I don't have only one set of sheets and 2 pairs of shoes. I still have plenty of items that I keep simply because they bring me joy. However, I can easily manage my home. I am not afraid for people to visit, and I am much, much happier. I don't feel suffocated. I have space to move and live. When I go shopping, I no longer think, "Wow, what a great deal! I should get this just in case I need it." Instead, I think, "I don't really need this. What do I already have that is similar? I don't want to bring another item into my home unless it is really special or needful." My whole mindset has changed. My whole life has changed. Now I experience feelings of peace when I look around my home. You can experience this too. It is possible to create a simple home that is easy to manage and brings you joy. This is not to say that my house doesn't get messy. It definitely does. The difference is that now I am able to quickly clean up the mess, and I don't have to spend time shifting clutter from place to place. I have specific homes for my items, and I have systems in place to keep things from piling up. So that is the story of why I pursued minimalism. And I am absolutely loving my journey. So if you or someone you know is struggling with too much stuff, I would love for you to share this video with them. I also have a blog where I share tips on simple living. I am very excited to share more about my journey with you, but I hope that this will encourage you that minimalism is not the absence of things. It is the presence of peace and happiness. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.